watching the Marlene Cox Show. Finally, a show for models, about models.
Well, welcome to the Marlene Cox Show. We're in another month. We're in the spring of the year. What an exciting place to be. So before we get started today, we got a great show coming up today. We're going to be talking about stepping out in style. We are going to be having a good time starting off this month of April. So before we get started, we always got to do a little bit of inspiration to get us going, make us feeling good. So, because you'll find that stepping out in the segment that we're going to do this for the month of April, because April is the time of new beginnings. We're going to talk about stepping out. So we have to be inspired for the things that we are doing through the month of April. So I want to leave you with this word. I think it's a great one for us to start this month off with. It says, when you recall the past, we usually find that it is the simplest things that are the most important things. And that came from Bob Hope. So we're going to go ahead and get started today with the new beginnings, stepping out in style. We're going to introduce you to, I know we've had just finished up and celebrated all of the Holy Week, Easter. We've just done all of those things that we've celebrated. And with all of the bright colors, have you guys noticed all of the colors that are making the news? Last year was all the pink. All the favorites times of the year, because of that particular time of the year marks spring. So we just came out of that season. Even though the clock has already been, how many of you guys woke up on time last month? How did you do it? How were you when that happened? Did you wake up on time? Was everything fine for you for the year, the spring coming into the season? The clocks have already been set back. All of the things that that has happened. So let's get ready to step into style in a new season of beginnings. So when we talk about the new beginnings, we almost always have to speak about what? What is the word that we always have to speak about? It's gone in, we think about the prom, we think about weddings, we think about banquets. Don't forget job interviews. Okay, it's imperative that we look at our best. How many times have we seen an absolute horror when it comes to any of these events? That special outfits, that special occasion, but also what we're talking about today, the right shoes. Right shoes. So the right shoes are so important that we make sure that we join with the right shoes that we're going to step out in style with. So let me just go ahead and say today we'll be discussing not only the special outfits for the special occasion, but also the right shoes. So join us as we discuss how to step out in style in the new beginning, from the street to the boardroom. All of those things are so important as we go into this season. And our topic today, new beginnings, stepping out in style. And we're going to bring back in Miss Valencia, and we're going to go ahead and get ready. How you doing, Valencia? How's everything coming along? You're doing good. So we're going to go ahead. I'm doing good over there. So go ahead and get us started today in our new beginnings. What's happening? What's happening on your world and stepping back in style?
So if you watch fashion like I do, you probably notice that the trends are moving towards throwbacks. We have the 70s and the 80s being paired with the 2000s, styles from the 90s paired with the 2010s, and styles from 1920s and 1960s being reborn in 2022 and 2023. So, fashion is always circular.
Yeah, so like we always know, it always comes back. It's like a recycle. And everybody says sustainable, keep those good core pieces because they always come back into style as we go. So we're going to be talking about bringing the 70s. Remember the 70s, the bell bottoms, you know what I mean? Some of the things that came in. Now I think they have a more like the skinny jeans type stuff going on. We'll talk about that a little bit, but the little bit of bell bottoms that are coming back from the 70s and some of the things that are coming back from the 80s. The one thing I noticed when I was over in Spain, everyone was wearing the oversized blazer. That was the 80, 90 thing, that's stepping back. So I've seen some of that in fashion. Have you noticed some of that, even in the boardroom or some of the runways where they're doing the oversized blazers? Have you noticed
Mhm.
any of that?
I've seen that. That award shows. I've seen like a lot of men in really oversized. Look, almost looks comical to me, but yeah, they're bringing that back.
They bring it back. They are definitely bringing that back. So we have a lot of the things that they're bringing back into the new year. That's it's kind of exciting to see that recycle of everything that they're bringing. So you've noticed the trends. How about the Chris cargo? It was the cargo pants. Now I did a lot of the cargo pants. I guess that's the '90s thing because I think at that time our teenager, yeah, it was more like a '90s thing. That was one of the looks that I liked on my younger son, those cargo pants. Because I mean they're really good, but they're coming back. So have they did anything when you looked at the '90s cargo pants to the 2024? Have you noticed any difference? Did they tweak anything, or everything seems to be the same?
It's probably. I think it's pretty much kind of the same. I would say it's kind of the same.
Okay.
There might be
Okay.
some that
Everything is
like some pants for ladies that sometimes are looser, and some styles maybe a little bit more fitted, but they still have the pockets in the front and on the sides. So, like I think like
yeah.
two different versions. One's tighter and one looser.
Okay. Okay. So those are the things that are so imperative in the fashion. Have you ever thought about going back over to your mom's house and going through her closet and seeing if she has anything left from the '80s and the '90s that you can upgrade?
Um,
Uh, never thought
I
about
don't
that?
know. I would have to get tailored because we're different sizes and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but my mom actually, she used to make clothes for my dad back when they were dating, and she made him a whole
Wow.
outfit like a John Travolta outfit, like blazer with the the collar part, and she made him pants. It was all
Uh,
white, so she knows how to sew, so she made a whole outfit for him. I saw a picture of it, so yeah, it really looked good.
oh, does she show? Does she sew for other people? I need
No,
someone
she's
to
trying to get
not
back
to
into it.
sew. Yeah. I need someone to help tailor some outfits because when you're short and petite and you want to go back to those outfits, I might have to let a little things out, put a little hems in a little thing like that. So ask mom, will she do that for other people? Because that's a talent in itself, just going back and fixing up all of the things that they've done back in the day and that we had to do with the cargo shorts, the classic top. How about the tank top? Do you see a difference in the tank top from us to now?
No, I think I would just say like when I was I guess teenager and like it's 2000s, early 2000s, the tank tops had a lot of they had the I can't think of the word. It was
That's
like a
okay.
design
The round collar, the more the round
top.
collar.
No, it
Okay.
was like a V-neck.
Yeah.
V-neck. They did a lot of V-necks, and some of them had
Okay.
some design above the V-neck. So,
Okay.
hmm
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because back in the I think the '80s and the '90s, they more had like a crop collar. It was more cropped than V. And I think I like that V, especially for it gives you a longer line. People are like dealing with fashion. If you're out going through your old collections, you can let that V gives your neck that longness, that the models like to have. That's a really good point when you're dressing, even for the runway or for style. You'll see a lot of those. I've noticed that not only in the tank tops of Valencia, I've even noticed some of the when you look at the regular blouse, they're cutting them. We know how your blouse usually button up, the buttons go up. I'm noticing they're
Mhm.
taking it on an angle and making more of that V. So that must be something women have been asking for in fashion. Give us that elongated look today, type of thing that they're using for the different things in fashion. So I probably need to ask Shamika to come over and move up my board a little bit so I can. The lights are really crazy. So, what other things did you see that's coming close between 22 and 24 that's really making a difference in what we do and how we dress, the things that are I was noticing in the whole A-line skirts. Have you noticed that one? Are you seeing a lot of the A-line skirts come back? And at every length, more people are going to the maxi. I notice I'm seeing a lot of maxi out there. I was at an event last weekend in North Carolina, and I noticed a lot of that little maxi is coming back, but also women I see a little below the knee, not so much above the knee. That like A-line flare. I've noticed a
Mhm.
little bit of that. Oh, Valencia, and what I noticed on that one, did you wear the A-line? Did you have that back in the 80s? Did you wear those, or what do you guys put
Well,
on back then?
I was born in the 80s, but
Oh, you were just born, so
in the
you weren't
90s,
wearing it.
yes. So I know like we had prairie skirts back when I was in high school. That was the trend back when I was in high school. So like in 2000, we had prairie skirts. I do remember wearing like a lot of A-line skirts too back when I was a child. So like in the 90s, I remember wearing A-line skirts. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so you wouldn't remember like all of the saturated color prints in the denims, the dramatic fullness that they used to have, that like that denim jacket, and then they would have that A-line skirt. But what I did notice that was different from what I saw last week was the A-line skirts, I'm sorry, were more, they were like different lines. It wasn't just like a round thing. They had them flowing in different lengths. That A line was going down and coming back up and going back down. As before, it was like a semicircle with the A line. So they made a lot of difference with the A line. Excuse me, what they're doing with the A line and what they haven't done with the A line skirts and things of that nature. So it's been really. I've seen that. So I've come through the late 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and the 2024, where they're trying to make that blend, because fashion is always a combination of recycling.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people can go into, if you really want to get that look, and of course you can go to your favorite stores, but I tell you a place that I like to go to. I like to go to the secondhand shops and the vintage shops. You can find a lot of the original stuff and pop your stuff into it to make it really a unique thing for them to have, which is amazing, how
Yeah.
all of that works, the things that we're doing in fashion, in the whole movement. Okay, but think about the 80s. Well, actually, the 70s and the 80s is about that time.
Not yet. But a friend of mine she had a birthday party and it was themed like Soul Train. So we all dressed up like
Oh,
the 70s, and so I ordered some like flare bottoms, some pink flare bottoms from Sheen. So and I just had a black top. I wore that, and everybody liked it.
okay.
We went to the roller skating party. So we had our outfits on, roller
Ooh,
skating. And everybody's like, "Where you get your pants from?" But yeah,
oh my
so she liked
goodness.
it. And then she had a party at her house, and we did a Soul Train line and everything.
Oh, so now, okay, so at the skating ring, you guys had the skates. So,
Mm-hmm.
what type of
Skated.
shoe did you have on after you took off the roller skates? What was the shoe that you used? What was that shoe? What was
Like
that?
I like a booty kind of heel.
Okay, a booty kind of hand. Okay, not
Not a
them
heel,
real
a
thick platform.
booty, a heel, a booty shoe, not a heel.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness,
Pointed.
I bet that was fun.
Yeah, it
So
was
when did
fun.
she do that? Was that this year she did that?
It was this year, I think last month.
Oh wow, that was amazing that you said that
And
she
she's
even
younger
thought
than
about
me.
going back. Okay,
Yeah,
that
she's
was
younger than me.
amazing.
Yep.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
she's sure. Not that
She's her
you're
20s.
pretty young. You're pretty young. I mean, you in that. So what is that generation? What are you? What are you, Gen Z or Z?
I'm a millennial.
You're millennium. Okay, I keep forgetting about
Mhm.
millennium. So millennium is before
Millennial.
Jay Z. Millennials is before the Z generation.
Um, I think Gen Z is
I
after
can't.
millennial. I think Gen
Gen
Z is
Z.
after
Okay,
us.
the Gen Z is after that. So that's amazing. Well, tell her that she was right on target for what's happening and what was happening in the fashion during that time. And
Mm-hmm.
also, have you ever noticed that the fashion, regardless of what season we're going into, what year it's going into, if you go back and you look at history, the 80s, the 70s and 80s was more of that rebellious. We were trying to make a statement. I was teenage then. We were trying to make a statement, and our clothes actually spoke because of the freeness of the bell bottoms and the denim jacket. And back in the day, when before the denim jacket really became popular, that was something people wore mostly on the farms. They didn't wear it to make a fashion statement. We were saying, you're not going to confine us into what you want. We were being really rebellious against everything that was happening in the 70s and the 80s. We were trying to make a statement that we're going to do something different, and we're going to wear them thick shoes,
So yeah, I love that. It's about that time for
Okay,
income.
so it's about that time. So that time means we're getting ready to go out on our commercial break, and Valencia and Marlene will be right back. This is the Marlene Cox Show, and we are in the first week of April, beginning spring, and we'll be right back.
When you look at what hair does, hair brings people together.
Hair is an expression of ourselves. Hair is an expression of our roots. It's an expression of our future. It's an expression of our artistic capabilities. Hair is everything.
Ashtay is a combination of my two daughters' names, Ashley and Taylor.
We actually started Ashtay products on a dare, believe it or not.
My wife dared me to go out on my own because I had turned down quite a few offers from other companies.
I said, so what are you going to do? If you so bad, why don't you start your own blankety company? And he said,
that's exactly what I want to do.
Just like that. We saw there was a need for a product that took care of this new combination coined global texture.
You have an African-American father, Hispanic mother, so therefore our daughter's hair represented global texture.
Here they are in the early 90s with two mixed children who have this hair texture that's like, ¿qué es esto? What is this? And they needed to find a solution for that.
We created global texture, therefore, who knew best how to deal with it? Ashtay has a unique blend of amino acids and conditioners and moisturizers that help to deal with the global texture market.
We impact our customers' lives through education, through them selling retail. Now they're able to have a profitable business, take care of their families, build and create first generational wealth.
The education of the stylist to think, to be accountable, to save money, we put that first, then we sell the product.
Most people just look at the stylists differently than we do. We look at them as entrepreneurs and as business people who want their kids to have the best education and travel the world and experience the finer things of life.
We have thousands of cosmetologists that have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they credit us for it. And in turn, they are extremely loyal to the brand. We truly look at every single one of our clients as they're part of our family.
We don't just sell a product, we build relationship. It is our goal to know our customers name by name, person by person, and impact their lives moment by moment.
And we are back. We are back, Valencia. I was just like, while we were off the air, I was just kind of going over some material about the millenniums, and I was just thinking about the simplicity of how those lines, especially from the 80s and the 90s, I think midway of the 90s is really moving right into what we're looking for in 2024, because everyone wants their clothes to be comfortable. And one of the things that when I did that research, it was talking about the power suit. I remember when women started doing that power suit, the power suit looked like a man's suit. And now the power suit can be whatever that woman wants. You know what I mean? The jacket can flare out on the back. She can have one big button in the front and do what she wants. It's a whole new thing. So being in corporate America, along with being a professional model, what are some of the things that you have seen women, as far as the power suit, especially in the DC era? What are some of the things that you've seen different from that man? Because we're not trying to dress like men. We want to have on our power suit, but we want to look like a woman, and we want those simple lines. Tell us some of the things that you've seen in the DMV.
So, of course, like back in the 80s and stuff, it was the big shoulder pads. So that's the only thing like a lot of shoulder pads now. If they are, it's not as prominent as it was back then. So the shoes are more feminine looking, more fitted at the waist. The legs might, well, I think the legs, some of them might be loose. Yeah, like the power suit, the shoes with the skinny leg, and some with the wide leg. So that's different.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is really different because back then it wasn't so much like the skinny leg, but it was like a thinner leg than the men, like so the men's suit might were like a little straighter, but the women had just a little wiggle room in there. And I have noticed that we used to call them bell bottoms, but the flare pants and the jeans. The jeans is a big thing, and they're doing a lot of that in a lot of the nice textiles where it goes down the leg, but it just opens up as it gets midway to the calf and it just flares out. Whereas before that hole from the knee down, you just kind of had that looseness and then it went pop and flared. So the line is a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more easy to get into, a little bit more flattering, actually. It's a lot of flattering because, back in the day when we were doing it, I think they stopped making them at maybe a size 8. Now you can find whatever you want, whatever size you want. You can get it in any size that you want to get it into. So that makes it a little different. Are the women wearing a lot of pants to the office now? Are women wearing a lot of pants to the office?
I'm not sure because I don't go into the office anymore, so I have not really seen a whole lot of that. I'm a remote worker, so I dress casually. I could be in my pajamas if I want to, but so yeah, I'm not sure. I don't go into DC that much, so I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Well, like the outfit you have on today, that's stunning. I love it. So let's talk about that because you almost what we used to call a semi Peter Pan collar. What is that? And you have that collar up, and is that a scarf or a necktie? What is that? That looks good. I love it.
This is kind of like, I don't know if you call it a scarf, but it's on the it's like a bow tie kind of thing. It's attached to the collar.
Oh,
I just tied it.
That's stunning. So keep that picture. Bring that picture back. She's a model. Bring her back. Bring Valencia back. See her model clients. If you're looking, she's gorgeous. Okay. She's ready she can do her thing. She's very professional. But I just like that look. It kind of like, I'm like, my goodness, did you realize, were you putting that look together because of the series that we're talking about today, Stepping Out in Style, or that was just something you felt like you wanted to do today?
Both, and the springtime is a little, light green pastel color, so go with the springtime.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I like it. You look gorgeous in that. That looks good. So getting back to so what are some of the other things? How about the jewelry? Did you see any? I saw some trends in the jewelry. Our jewelry back then was a lot of chokers. Ooh. I mean, I see a lot of them, but not as thick. So what are a lot of the choker jewelries, the big earrings? I don't think the big earrings ever left. There was always a style of a woman who would wear those.
Now. I think those never go out of style.
Yeah. They'll never go out of style. Those are always in. I remember my mom saying, "You're going to pull your ear down." Now, I will grant you, so any of our listeners who are listening and sharing the broadcast, I will grant you that they were heavier then. And people's ears were being torn a lot. But I noticed today when I pick them up, they're very light. They're very light. They're not, the metals and stuff are very light so that you can wear them. Now, you don't feel weight pulling on your ear or anything like that, do you? Like they used to be. They used to be really, really heavy and that light, the light way of wearing your earrings and those chokers. I noticed the choker then they used to, they were so tight, but the give that they're doing for this year, you can still wear it, but you got a little looseness in the back, which is important. That people will, with the choker type of thing. And the other thing that's coming back is unfortunately, the basket, the basket bags that look like a little basket that you go out.
Bucket hat. Yes, I'm not a huge fan of it. It was like a 90s thing, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Like Will Smith in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he had that hat on the show. bucket hat.
Yeah. Which one? The old Fresh Prince or the new one?
The old Fresh Prince, the original.
Oh, the old Fresh Prince. Okay, okay. Those little hats. They kind of had those back on, the other thing too, if we deal with color, because we deal with color a lot in our industry, neon colors are, like the green, the colors are coming back, but they're making them more neon. They're making them more neon, more vibrant, where they're jumping out at you. Have you ever went to a paper store, like a craft store, and you buy the neon colors opposed to the other? They're going to be more neon this year.
Thank you for watching the Marlene Cox Show. Please tune in next week. You're watching the Marlene Cox Show, a show about models for models.